This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show. This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show.
YouTube, what is up? I'm your homeboy Josh, back at you with another video, and today we're going to take a look at the Aeronaut. The Aeronaut. I really don't want to go into too much detail right now. I don't want to spoil this for you, okay? Suffice to say, it's made by an aerospace engineer over in the UK, across the pond, and you can buy it at Eciggity for 65 bones, and it's worth every penny. So come on in here, let's take a look at this thing. This is the Aeronaut. So when you pop this guy open, it's just like this, okay? On the bottom, it says Aeronaut, and it's serialized. I've got number 102. Here's the top cap. Very simple, very utilitarian. No artwork or any designs on the outside. It looks almost deceptively simple. At first glance, you'd think that that's an airflow hole, and that's an airflow hole, and that's where it begins, and that's where it ends. You'd be wrong. There's a tube in there, and it cuts straight across the diameter of the top cap. Has downward facing air holes, cutting slits, 4 of them right there. You see them? Also in the box, you get some extras. You get an Allen key right here, which is a little bit hard to get out the first time. And you get these guys. So it's your usual fare: O-ring, screws, Allen key, da-da-da-da. And then things start to get weird. What the funk is that? Well, put it in perspective, there's your top cap again. There's your deck. Beginning to understand how this works a little bit? Well, that's what these guys are for. These are what secure your leads on this RDA. This metal slab right here. See? Yeah. And these guys are your extra airflow tubes. Because this RDA has both top airflow and bottom airflow. But you do not have to use either one of them. Do you see this? When I figured out what these metal tubes were for, my mind got rocked. That blew my mind. So now, this RDA is just a bottom airflow RDA with nothing else. But we can flip that around again. Slide that tube back in with the cut up airflow holes there. And then we can replace this tube here. And boom. Now there's no bottom airflow, only top airflow. And if you want to really blow some clouds, you can just take everything out. How crazy is that? So you've got tons of airflow options. Now, I haven't put the top airflow in the bottom yet. And the reason is that the pieces are not the same size. See, they kind of stick out there. Now you can do this, you can, but to choose this option for the sliced up airflow holes for the bottom, it's a bit of commitment because you basically gotta plunge it right through the top cap like this. But, you know, now it's, like I said, it's a commitment. You can't pull this off, the top cap off, anymore right now. So before you can take that top cap off, you've got to push that tube back out. You cannot, however, use the bottom tube in the top. See, these are different sizes. That one's the top, that one's the bottom. Same with this one. that one's the top, and that one's the bottom. With this deck, I've had that frame staple coil in there. I've had a vertical coil in here, which was twisted and helixed and claptoned, and it was kind of nuts. And I took out the top airflow piece completely, so I could do that. And I've had an alien coil in here, and I'm pretty sure I could put a quad coil in here as well. That's a crazy amount of build space. That's a lot. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. That's a little bit ridiculous. Let's just break this guy all the way down so you can get an idea of what's going on in here. So that's it with all the metal slabs, screws, everything's removed, okay? This is your positive post right here. This is your negative post, milled into the deck. Yeah, when this first came to me, this was actually very loose. So I'm just gonna show you. Basically, when I would build on it, at times, I made it worse than it was. This is even worse than it was when it came. But, you know, this was throwing my ohms all over the place with my build. So what I did was I took the build out and I tightened this up right at the bottom, just like that. And that just secured the post into place. No more wiggling, no more ohms jumping all over the place, an easy fix. So if your ohms are jumping like crazy, if you get this RDA, check that pin down there and make sure it's good and tight. So yeah, I mean, for a two-piece Addy, two-piece style Addy basically, it comes with a lot of stuffs. I mean, you get a lot of stuffs with your, $65 here. That is a lot of extras, it's a lot of parts and pieces. So where do all these O-rings go, right? Well, let's see here. I haven't figured out what this mid-sized one is for yet. This mid-sized one, I don't know what that one's for. These ones are obviously, to go around these, your deck, which is secured with two O-rings. These little ones, these little tiny ones here, I've burned through one of them already. And that was before I figured out the best way to take out these tubes. Can you see it in there? Right inside that little hole? Yeah, maybe just a little bit, that little sliver of black. But now that I've figured out the easiest ways to do it, not a problem anymore. I'll probably never go through another one. What I found, in building this guy, what I kind of like to do is take, a screw out on each side, kind of like this, and then just kind of slide that out that way and slide that out that way so that they're on the outside, these little, these panels or whatever. And then I will, get my coil in like that. And then slide that one over there. Get one secured like that, and you bring the other one around. And then you just tighten everything down. It's a little bit, different than building, everything else, honestly. But once you've done it a couple of times, it's really not that difficult. Frame staple coil. I've also had an alien coil in here, which I actually like even more. But that's not, that's not all there is to this Addy. It has a 10 milliliter juice well. I'm filling these up all the way. And it can handle basically about two of those. 2 full droppers is what it can handle. To that deck, if you look, there's a lot of juice in there right now, right? Can you see it all underneath the coil? That's filled. That's a filled 10 millimeter juice well right there. Okay? Watch this. Did you see that? Wasn't anything to see. Watch again. You know I'm big on cuts, right? I cut up my videos like crazy. This one's cut up like crazy, I'm sure. Did I cut there? Did I? No cut. No leaking. None. That's part of the reason I cut right there, that plane. Yeah. Military flight path. Do you see all the juice that's still in there? Can you see it? Juice is coming up to that airflow tube. Hooking it up with some more of this kendo cotton, and we're putting it through its paces. The way I'll wick this is down over on one side and down over on the other side. Just like that. Still got plenty of juice in the well. I'm just going to go ahead and juice the top of the coil here. Anyway, I'll see you guys up there. But how does it vape? Did you see that shit? Let's see it again. Clouds and flavor, baby. Clouds and flavor. It's ridiculous. 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 Waffles is going to come home in a bit and ask why the place is so foggy. This is nuts. The amount of vapor that I'm getting on this build, the amount of flavor that I'm getting on this build. And it's just not just this build, it's every build I put on here. Every build I put on here has performed incredible. This is with the just bottom airflow. Waiting for you to come back into focus. Yeah. I like the flavor a little bit better with the top airflow too, because basically you've got the top airflow coming down from over here and the bottom airflow coming up from over here, and it's like this crisscross across the coil, and it's covering all the coil surface area. I mean, that's awesome. You know, you can still, control the bottom airflow like that. This is adjustable at the bottom. You can restrict that, as much as you want. The top one you can't restrict except by, changing out the tube. So with the bottom one swapped out, this is just top airflow. Top airflow, nothing else. It's a little bit more restrictive that way. Flavor is better than just the bottom. I'm taking out the tubes. I don't even know what this is going to do with the vapor production. It's going to be a little ridiculous. Holy shit. Yeah, so you can have yourself a little cloud machine here too. It runs the gamut from, a really restrictive flavorful draw with just the top airflow in there to just a cloud machine with all the airflow tubes taken out. My favorite, honestly, none of them are bad. They're all good. They're all good. Great flavor on all the options. Great vapor on all the options. But my favorite is with both air tubes in. Wide open. This right here, the Aeronaut, it's my new favorite RDA. Hands down. Hands down, my new favorite RDA. For building, just for vaping in general, the flavor, the vapor production, it's incredible. I mean, the positives here. It's a long list. You've got an enormous build space because of the size of these panels and, you know, the height of these screws. I mean, you can fit a lot of stuff in here. A lot of stuff in here. You've got tons of airflow options and no leaking. No leaking at all. That's cray-cray. That's cray-cray right there. And in terms of negatives, there's a few. There's a few subjective cons mainly. You can't use your own drip tips. You know, this does not get hot. I don't know why that is. I was a little bit concerned about it getting too hot. I mean, when I ordered it, I was kind of hoping that I was wrong looking at it, thinking that I couldn't remove this, but I really haven't had an issue with it getting too hot. Screw at the bottom, the positive post, being a little loose when it came to me, but that was an easy fix. That was just tighten it on up, and I haven't had the problem since then. There's really not a whole lot of negatives here. There really isn't. I mean, I love this RDA. This is my new favorite RDA. Since I got it about a week and a half ago, I really haven't been able to put it down. I really haven't. Really just been loving this thing. Using it constantly. Constantly. I mean, I love it. I take it to work with me. I mean, there's no leaking. No leaking. So why wouldn't I? I heard about it about a month ago. And you know, it was just a prototype then. I'd seen prototype pictures on Instagram. I started talking with the guy that made it, and he's an aerospace engineer in the UK. And you know, I told him I was going to stalk him on Instagram until I had one in my hand. And then, you know, as soon as I saw that he posted up that Eciggity had it in stock, within 15 minutes I'd already placed an order. Because I knew looking at it how much I was going to like it. I could not wait to get this thing in my hands, and it didn't disappoint. $65 authentic RDA that rivals pretty much any RDA that I've ever tried out, ever used. Can't say enough good things about it. This one has been a treat. I can't recommend it highly enough. Pick yourself up one at Eciggity. I mean, if you like clouds, if you like flavor, if you like building, if you like top airflow, if you like bottom airflow, I mean, wow. I love this thing. Love it. I haven't been able to put it down. The Aeronaut. Vape on, vapors.